Well, good evening. I'm your host, Robert Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom Hypno Acuity presents the 7 Ways Why podcast. Today's podcast is 7 Ways Why I Unmasked My Messes. And I realize we think the outside world is a mess and all the things are going on, but it's really actually going on inside people, and the outside world is the outcome of what people think and do. And see, I now realize and admit all my world, I'm on my physical world events, encounters, and the images and descriptions are within me. That is actually showing me the images within me and the descriptions and everything. The outside world is innocent. It's all what we perceive from within us. And we think the outside world is a mess, but it's really the thinking, knowing, memory, mind, and all the ingrained uh, ancestor programming and the third world enslaving mindsets that we've taught ourselves. See, that's the thing. We always talk about education and this, but we actually learn from education, but we teach ourselves. That way, when you say you teach yourself, that allows you to stop the manipulation of the outside world that's within you. And something I've really discovered for myself, the outside world is the images, but the outside world is what people have made it. We've actually described the world, and we made the inscriptions and the descriptions and the everything. And today we actually live our ancestors' ingrained programming. When I say that, I mean, you look at the world, the southern border still has the influence, the fentanyl highway, I call it. And every place still has the same things going on that our ancestors did. The Iran, Iraq, Israel, Russia, Ukraine. We still can never have conversation to rise to peace because the world has never understood peace and never experienced peace. And the thing about everything that's going on is we ingrained it. So we've got masked corruption of ingrained a third world enslaving mindset. We mask everything over. We try to make it feel or seem different than what it is. And that's why we unmask the thing. And something I really understand now is how many of you mask over feelings and things rather than either hurt somebody or you mask the feelings so you never get hurt and you cover it up and then you stuff it down and it stays stuffed down, but it's never gone. And that's what hypnotherapy does. It'll rise you out of that. But the thing is, life is a mess on purpose. But we mask the messes with egotistical arrogance, know-it-all ignorance, stubbornness, hard-headedness, and fake and bake toughness. That nothing phases me, by God. I can do it all. And that's where we mask the messes. So when we can unmask the mess, we undress the stress within ourselves and feel blessed. But the world is masked messes because we're all trying to, I know I do, I try to cover up what's going on out there so it don't seem as unsavory as it is. And the world is really, the outside world is a mess. And we've never, ever opened up to communicate with each other. That is something I've really noticed in my life. As people, we cover it up with an egotistical arrogance and education. See, education is good, but the education has manipulated us into thinking the outside world and business and education are the way forward. And it's not. people are the way forward. But we masked it over and thinking money, as long as I'm making money, everything is good. But education teaches negativity and a third world enslaving mindset for us to stay the same as yesterday. And if you really want to sit down and get very honest, today's world mirrors our ancestors and if you look at the czars of Russia, there's that going on today. Money is only a material object, but we worship it. And I did, but I'm rising out of that to understand the energy of money is just a way to, it's an exchange. But when you think money is the object of life, you lose the core of yourself, because you start doing things. I've done it. You become loyal to money and think everybody owes you, and that is the biggest lie in the world. Because I now realize and admit my physical world events, encounters, and experiences, image descriptions are all within me, because it's coming through my filtration system of foresight or whatever. As I listen and witness and observe to the streaming, liberating savvy of my spirit poise, I realize the outside world is my visuals triggering my inner communications of corruption, because that's where the immaturity, insecurity really rises. See, the world is more corrupt today than any time in history, but we cover it up with thinking the world is better. But as you look around and be honest with yourself, it's not. It lacks integrity and communication. Also, people have given up on themselves, because the world, the universe and the world, they have experiences waiting for us, but we become a society that thinks somebody else should do it for us. Who's one of them? I am. I'm not going to lie. The more visionary veracity, the less I lie to myself. But when I visualize the outside world and I blame the outside world, I have a delusional inner dialogue that it's everybody else's fault, their responsibility, their accountability, and that's a lie I lived. And it's a lie that's being lived today. That is the mass corruption of the world. See, business and education have their challenges, but the people have our challenges too, because we're wanting things done for us. Like people want paid for something that happened in the past. The thing about the now is you can rise out of the past in present moment. You cannot rise out of the past by going back to the past and trying to write letters and feel good. No, you rise out of the past right here. And see, we're stuck in our ancestor anchored programming and the third world enslaving mindsets of business education. Something I've really awakened to is that third world enslaving mindset. And it is really throughout the world. And if you watch Wall Street and the Wall Street pundits, you can witness and listen to the third world enslaving mindsets, because they act like they own people. And the thing is, people have a liberation within them, but you watch them Wall Street people think they dictate to the hourly worker. Well, as an electrician, we should just go in and shut the mains off in all their buildings, lock them out and walk away, and then see who controls the world. See, the only way you're controlled is if you mask your sovereign savvy within your sovereign valor within yourself. And it's easy to mask things over because it's easy. And there's no trepidation. And there's And it's easy because you become a people pleaser and you're trying to please the world. It's something I've really expanded into. Self-help, personal growth, self-improvement, all that is an extension of business and education. There's zero liberation in it. Liberation comes from here. And we're so stuck in our overthinking mind, we're binded in yesterday's whatever. Well, yesterday's illusions and delusions, because we think we heal the past, but we never, when you heal something, you never let go of the memory. The memory forever is embedded in the subconscious landscape. When you liberate yourself and color and design a fresh way of life, you liberate internally, feeling enterprising wizardry. That's why you unmask the messes of yourself. You're the mess of your life. There's no other honest way to say it. But all the messes you think are in the outside world are in here. Are in here. This up here, he's kind of a rattle trap. He rattles a lot of crap too. Mine does, but I'm now starting to understand it. To rise of a inspirational inner articulating artistry, I stopped the clamoring of my overthinking mind. As I now realize the outside world is my picturesque awakenings to entertain my brain's charming my Picasso prowess, to paint my featureless canvas of my dreams and desired lifestyle on my subconscious scenery, with my moneyed up accomplished outcomes chauffeuring me through life to relax on my beaches of leisure. See, something I've really opened up to. We've been taught to be sheeple and follow whatever somebody higher up says. We think people with wealth know everything. Once people get so much wealth, they're become kind of toxic and a tyrant, and they want to be the dictator that controls the world. And that's going on today. If you really look at it, there's people out there that want to depopulate the world, feed you, and give you vaccinations to keep you healthy. That sounds encouraging, don't it? See, that's a mask. That's a mask of corruption. It's up to the people to unmask the corruption and the messes of life. Because all the mass messes are within me. It's up to me to unmask the messes with my unlimited nerve, majestic audacity, streaming, keen, enterprising, dreamers, their devilry. Naturally energizing my maestro energy, streaming success, energizing the savvy of me to always be free. Because everything I desire is within me. But we've been taught the outside world has the answers. That's the trouble. It has answers. It don't have the pathway of enlightenment and the percipience and the pioneering prowess to chauffeur us through life. See, we are masked with messes that are in the exterior world. And we always get, when we have a challenge and chaos, we look to the outside world to rise out of it. But it's never the outside world where the path of enlightenment is. The path is in here, not up here. It's in here. You listen for the inspiration, imagination, innovation, the inventor's lure, and the campaigner's curiosity. Unleash your gamer's gumption. You're the one that can rise you out of everything. The outside world is going to try to keep you trapped, because the outside world has people that want to control everything. And, the more they control, the less the other people have. So you're masked messes come from your thinking, knowing, memory, mind, things you taught yourself, your subconscious mind frozen in time, emotions, your reactions to your daily life. And how do you react today just like you did when you was a child? Oh, hell, I did it for years. I did. Now I realize I was using my parents' way of life today. When you use your parents' way of life, you're going to react to life just the way they did. And now that I've risen out of it, I witness it. See, that's the thing about change, heal, create, transformation, forgiveness. It never lets you out of the memories. It keeps you in the memories of what has happened in your life. And then we react to our daily life, re-energizing all the turmoil within ourselves. So as I audaciously unmasked my methods of self-created stress triggered from thinking, knowing, selfish habits, subconscious mind frozen in time, emotions, feelings, and descriptions, whether they're peaceful, uninteresting, or infuriating fury that stir up all my corrupted, inflamed, blaming, shaming shams of today. All the unsavory stuff in your life, you're stirring up within you. But the outside world triggers it, but it's inside you where the corrupt mess is. The world is more corrupt and has less leadership than any time in history. The leader of your life is you. And if you want to follow the educated path, that's fine. But when I rise to understand education is a controlling manipulation, I liberated me from me by listening to my life's liberating invitations, fostering emancipating events, encounters, and experiences. And, as I realized today is Halloween. Halloween, a long time ago, was a harvest festival. And today, Halloween is the day the spooks and the goblins and all the weary and the mystical things happen in life. They happen every day, but today is the only day we honor it. One thing people are you open to understand? You have real mystical intuition, imagination, innovation, and unlimited inspiration to move your life forward, to enjoy, to enjoy your day. Our thinking memory mind creates the havoc and all the messes of our life. Because a thinking memory mind is never going to ask questions. It's going to try to think and know its way through. Questions are liberation. Thinking and knowing is the mess. And see, that's where the world is we got to unmask the innermost messes to unlock our natural maestro acumen, streaming keen mystique marvels, optimizing yazzadashing intuitive native nous, energizes rebel rousing mystical enterprising spectaculars. And you are your wisdom, insight, clarity, and artistic agility is your enterprising spectaculars to rise out of socialized, regulated corruption. Negativity is taught to us, and pessimism is taught to us. We learn from the outside sources, but pessimism and corrupt thinking is taught to us. And we've kind of become a society of, well, it's corruption. And the leaders of the world, they're the most corrupt there is. I'm just sorry. You guys just start admitting to what's going on. But their corruption, and then they legislate for the corruption, they forget the people. The world is a people, it's full of people. The wisdom, innovation of people will rise the world. But when people think they do things for selfish ways to make money, that becomes mass corrupted messes for us, because they're doing everything for money and taking care of the people with the money, which is good. But don't forget the people you represent. And the people that represent the United States people have forgot us for years. And that's where the third world enslaving mindset and our ancestors embedded survival mode programming is where the world is. When you forget, when you do things only for money, karma comes back to you. But the thing is, all the messes you have in your life, the pathway to cleanse the messes is within you by listening, understanding, inspiration, comprehending, wisdom, and revelations. Rise above thinking about your life, to listen to the liberating inspirations, intuition, imagination, and innovation that flow from here up. You liberate the body and all the subconscious and all the cells to rise, to color the scenery of your subconscious scenery. The scenarios of your dreams will rise you out of it. See, we've been taught dreams are terrible, but dreams are your natural talent. And and I understand this. I taught myself to believe in the mass malarkey of the socialized tyrants of the world that wrote the education system that controlled my thinking, memory, mind, that I learned from my parents, community, viewpoints, opinions, and beliefs, realizing all indoctrinated education is secondhand opinions, viewpoints, beliefs, and their interpretation of the events of world history. And see, that's something I'm really starting to understand. The world lives on the third world enslaving mindsets, opinions, beliefs, and viewpoints of the wealthy people of the world. So today, I shredded, communicated away all my mass socialized corruption of greed, seedy arrogance, wannabe leaders. See, everybody wants to be a leader, but you can't be a leader till you listen to the people. And all the leaders of today, all they care about is that 527. See, the thing is, you have to are you open to being a little bit vocal to take the world back, the country back? Anyway, today, all of our leaders of today are corrupt with a dollar bill backbone. A dollar bill backbone is a dollar bill. Either you're flopping in the wind or you're bent over, but you'll do it for $1. So when I rose out of my paper bone backbone, I liberated me from my masked corruption, to unmask the mess of my magical energy streaming sovereign savvy. To rise of rebellious intrepid spunk emancipates my free-flowing, energized image inspiration, streaming intuition, expressing designer innovation, movie maker imagination, as I listen, observe my life of liberated leisure, now and forevermore. I listen to evermore. I listen to my core campaigner candor, express my warrior veracity to never lie to me, myself, and I. Understand and admire. I am awakened of the dare of my I am, hearkens my spirit prowess, wows me with my wisdom, optimism, waltzing me through life with ease. But when you rise out of your when you unmask the messes, you open up your blessings of bountiful bliss within yourself. And as I am Robert Wilson, and may your life always flow with lavish, endless abundances now and forevermore. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.